Welcome back to the channel, guys. Kerrod here in the studio at Joondalup Resort. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to draw the golf ball in a controlled and consistent manner. This one's going to help massively for those of you who slice the ball and are trying to get the opposite curvature. Stay tuned. This one's really going to help. Let's get into it. Now, the majority of golfers out there tend to slice the ball, or for the right-hander, too much of a left to right curvature. The opposite is true for the left-hander. So in this video, once again, I'm going to show you how to get that opposite curvature, and this may straighten out that slice for a lot of you and hopefully even get you some of that draw bias. So I've got a little practice station set up here. We've got a red noodle out in front, which is going to signify our target line, or when we want the ball to finish. We've got a white stick down on the ground here to the right of that, which is going to identify where our club face is going to be aiming at address and at the moment of impact. And then we've got an orange stick to the further right of that, which is really going to symbolize what we call the direction of the swing, or the club path as it moves through the golf ball. So first of all, let's talk about how to create a draw. So just facing the camera here, if my arm was the target line, let's just assume this is pointing directly where we want to send the golf ball. What needs to happen at the moment of impact is the club face needs to be closed to the direction in which you are swinging the club through the golf ball. So there's two main elements which are going to produce a draw bias. They are called club path and club face angle. Our club face angle must be closed to the direction in which the club path is moving to get that draw bias. Effectively, what happens is this part of the club hits the ball first and then puts this sort of spin on it, which causes the ball to curve from right to left for the right-hander. So when we're setting up to a golf ball with that understanding, we can introduce some elements into our setup to encourage that without trying to manipulate the club and the swing too much throughout the motion, because that's just going to lead to a little bit of inconsistency and unpredictability with where that ball's going to start and how much it's going to curve. So in this video, we're going to show you how to hit a controlled draw, not a big roping hook that can probably get you into equally as much trouble as some of those slice shots as well. So starting off, we've got this red noodle, which is our target line. And with that understanding of the theory of how to hit a draw, we need to get our club face angle just to the right of that. So if our club face here was aiming at the red noodle, I'm going to get my club face aiming in the direction of that white stick. So from this position here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build and take my normal stance from this position here. Now, if I was to hit the golf ball from this spot, assuming all things being equal, my ball would tend to sail out to the right with not too much curvature. That ball went relatively straight and finished a few meters right of my target. So now we've got the push element that we're looking for. So the ball is going to start right of my target, but now I need to see the ball curve back to the left. So how do we produce that curvature that we're looking for? So we're going to put the ball in the same spot. We're going to get our club face angle in the same position at address. Now, to get the ball curving from right to left, what we need to do is we need to shift the direction in which the club head is moving, or the mass of that head as it goes through the golf ball. Now, the simplest way to do that is to simply just shift your alignment to the right. So that means your feet, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your forearms, everything to the right, and then re-grip the golf club from that position. Now, this may look quite funky to a lot of you. So effectively, when you look down at the golf ball, the club face is going to be closed relative to where you would normally have it. But this is one of the most simple ways to produce a draw bias, because at the end of the day, as we discussed before, the club face simply just needs to be closed to the direction in which you're swinging. So we've got our target line. We're going to aim our club face just to the right of that point. We're going to take our normal stance. From here, in a simplistic manner, what we're going to do is just leave the club there, and we're going to shift our whole alignment to the right. Now, when you do this, I want you to see that you put the ball slightly further back in your stance. From there, simply re-grip the golf club. Now, all things being equal, what this is going to encourage you to do is simply just make a normal swing along your body line. The club path will now be traveling further along that orange stick rather than too much towards the target. But because the club face is aiming further left of that, the ball will start slightly right of the target and then begin to curve back due to the difference between where the club face is aiming and the club path is traveling. So let's go through this setup, let's hit the shot, and let's watch that curvature take place. So we've got our club face angle set at the white. I'm going to aim my body to the right, the ball slightly further back, simply swing along my body line, and the ball starts to the right, has a curve back, dead on line with the target. Fantastic. So if you've ever been wondering on how to curve that ball from right to left, set up a little practice station such as this, put a target line down in front so you've got some sort of reference for how much that ball's curving. Let's put something in front so we can get our club face aiming at our intended target, so that would be to the right of where we want the ball to finish. And then from there, you actually need your body to aim even further right. Now this may feel quite weird for a lot of you because you are aiming quite far right of your intended target, but this is necessary as an easy way to get your swing path to further right of where your club face is aiming, and it's going to make it quite simple to get that sort of right to left curvature back on the golf ball. Now remember, if you're a left-hander, the opposite is true for this, and it's going to give you that sort of left to right ball flight that you'll be looking for if you tend to slice it in that direction as well. So there you have it, a very simple, easy, and effective drill that you can use to learn to curve the ball in a draw bias. The more you practice this, the more comfortable you'll get. Play around with that face angle at address, play around with how much you aim out to the right, and see how much you can get that ball curving from right to left, and just see what sort of little adjustments you can make to lessen or increase the amount of curvature. Once you're comfortable with that on the driving range, take it out to the golf course, give it a go, and you might just surprise yourself how easy it is to get that ball flight that you may have been looking for. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please go down below, click subscribe, click that little bell so you get notified of any upcoming videos just like this to help you game in the year ahead. But until next time, I'm Kerrod. Thanks for watching.